Did you ever feel like pushing that door open at work, walking out, and hitting the open road? Well, my name is Nick Kessler, and I teach shop. And this is my buddy, Brian Fulmer. He teaches too. And let's not forget about our former student, Wolfie. And when summer comes, we turn into a 3-person film crew that hits the highways and byways of North America in style, riding drop top in our 1968 Caddy. Our main mission, to educate you about the places we visit. No classroom rules or lesson plans here. Just complete freedom to show you what this great nation is about. This is Road Trip Masters. This week's episode has us on the road to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, and as always, kicking it drop-top style in the 68 Caddy. But before we even got on the road, our set of wheels was a bit under the weather with a case of a weak start. We had a long day of cruising ahead of us, so I took it down to master mechanic Bruce Klein for a checkup.
Bruce, you think it's good to go to Gettysburg?
Well, for what I've tested here and what I've come up with on numbers, I think you're great to go.
All right.
With an okay from the dock, we set out across the Pennsylvania countryside.
Typical.
After a few speed bumps along the way, I put on my Union Army hat to get into the true Gettysburg spirit. Founded in 1761, early settler Samuel Geddes built a tavern in the surrounding farmland to house wayward military troops and traders of the time. 25 years later, his son James took the existing farmland that bordered his father's tavern and began to lay out what is now known as the town of Gettysburg. Hall of Fame baseball player Eddie Plank and former Pittsburgh Steeler guard Steve Corson were from Gettysburg, as well as automobile pioneer John Studebaker. There are many great places to stay when visiting Gettysburg, but we decided to make base camp at the historic Gettysburg Hotel. Established in 1797, this place has it all, and that's where I caught up with Chuck, the GM here at this beautiful establishment.
Chuck, we're in the vault. Why is there a vault here at the Gettysburg Hotel?
Well, the vault is located as part of our ballroom. It was an operating bank.
Well, you take the size of that door out there. You weren't moving this.
No, we weren't. And in fact, during the Civil War, women and children hid in that safe.
Very safe place, I guess,
Yes.
on day one of battle.
Yes, it was.
Now, Chuck, hotel built 1797?
Yes, it was established by James Scott as Scott's Tavern.
Correct me if I'm wrong. We can walk right out of the Gettysburg Hotel, right up Baltimore Street, and get to the battlefield.
Yes, absolutely. We're right on the square in Gettysburg. Actually, the battlefields are within walking distance. The cemetery is within walking distance. All the town shops and other restaurants in the area and the historical sites. So essentially, you can park and not have to get in your car for your entire stay. We have 119 guest rooms and suites. Some of our large suites have a living area, fireplace overlooking the square.
And you got that rooftop pool.
We have a rooftop pool that's quite nice. It's only seasonal, so it's open from Memorial Day to Labor Day.
You have your restaurant on premise.
Correct.
And what was the name of that again, Chuck?
The name of the restaurant is One Lincoln Food and Spirits. It features the Gettysburg address on the wall vinyl. The logo is Penny of Abraham Lincoln because of his historic Gettysburg address here in town. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, full bar, excellent assortment of scotches, high-end liqueurs, and probably one of the largest selections of craft beers in town.
Well, Chuck, thank you so much.
It's been our pleasure.
So it's back in the Caddy, and this time we're headed a little bit out of town to Fiddler and Company to experience some upscale rustic cuisine. Drawing from the vast farmland of Adams County, this place loves to cook and cook the things they love. Fiddler and Company is a must-stop when visiting Gettysburg, and that's where Brian caught up with Josh, the owner of Fiddler and Company.
All right, Josh, we're back here in the kitchen. What do we have?
Oh, right now we're working on balling up our pizza doughs for our brick oven pizza. We like to do like a slow ferment over about 24 hours.
And this is Eli. And what are you doing here?
Just weighing out the dough here.
The next step is this goes in, ferments overnight.
Okay.
We have doughs that we made yesterday.
That's
so
fantastic.
We'll,
it's amazing how television does that. So I'm going to make my own pizza here.
Which starts by placing the dough in the flour. After working it several times in a circular motion, I was feeling pretty confident.
Now, I got to ask you. I'm looking through the window. I see a hot chick. I want to impress her.
And you gotta throw it.
All right, you ready?
Go for it.
Yo! Is that how you do it?
That was all right. All right, so now we've got our pizzas ready.
Yes.
You're gonna lightly pick it up and put it on your peel.
Okay.
We're gonna start just with some cheddar.
Okay.
Now we're gonna grab some of our local apples here. Grab some bacon. All right, so I'm gonna put mine in first.
Of course, Josh. You own the place.
All right, yours was a circle and mine was a semi-square.
So we gave the pizzas a few spinny spins, and then I dove in.
Was so worth it. I'd like to save you a spot, but I think this is mine.
All right.
After I chowed down a bit, Josh wanted to show me one of Fiddler and Company's main attractions, the octopus.
I've never had octopus. Sounds scary. I don't even know where to begin.
We're gonna start with fingerling potato that's been already cooked, but we're gonna slice it thin. We're gonna put it in the fryer.
I hopped back to Josh so we could grill up the octopus.
We're gonna season a little kosher salt. We do a little smoked paprika. It's been marinated, sriracha, lime, cilantro, and olive oil. So we're gonna hit the grill with it. We're just looking to get a nice little char on this thing, so some nice grill marks there. Turn it up kind of on its tentacles.
Yes.
Is good to go.
All right.
We're gonna go back over here now to our cutting board.
So Josh laid down a base of chimichurri, bit of charred corn salsa, added our potatoes from the fryer, sliced up the octopus, and finished it off with a garnish of frisee, fresh cilantro leaves, teresa oil, and a dash of paprika. Well, here goes nothing.
I just cut a little piece of octopus
Yeah.
there.
It really is meaty.
Yeah, just go for it.
You know, I'm trying to pinpoint the taste because immediately when I'm thinking lobster, I'm thinking crab. You know, I'm thinking those kinds of things, but it's really not. It's more of softer tasting fish, I would say.
Yeah, like
Like you-
swordfish
yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, it's delicious. You are producing some fantastic stuff. Josh, thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
All right.
Coming up next on Road Trip Masters, Brian gets the urge to play golf for the first time in his life. Will he be able to hang with the golf pro? Then we hit the trails on horseback and go behind Confederate lines. And later, I visit the house of one of the greatest military leaders of our time.
Welcome back. You know, just outside of Gettysburg lies Carroll Valley Golf Course at Liberty Mountain Resort. And I was there to learn how to play golf. Why, you ask? Because I wanted to be able to compete with Nick when we're back at home and off the road. That's where I caught up with Gavin, the golf pro at Carroll Valley.
I love the view from here.
You like that?
Yeah.
Like the mountain that we're hitting into today?
It's beautiful. It looks like a giant rock. It's gonna come right back at me. You know, I'm not a golfer. You saw me, we walked in. Clearly, I didn't even have a golf shirt. I am a true master of the worm burner. You know, true master. So,
You're not alone. Like, there are other people out there that master the worm burner just like you. Let's take a look at your swing. Let's see what we're working with first.
that didn't feel good.
There's your worm burner you were talking about.
Yeah,
Low
not
ball
bad.
flag.
I can't believe it even went up that high.
What you have a tendency to do is bend this arm.
Yes.
Take it back and then stop. See how we got our arm
Yeah.
bent like I was talking about? We want that stretched out
Oh,
like that.
okay.
And then we're going to bring the club down
Yep.
and swing through.
Gavin continued to give me more instruction on proper golf technique, and I started to feel more comfortable with my swing. And before you knew it, I felt ready to get outside, breathe some fresh air, and hit the links.
This pond is one of the more distinguishing features of the golf course. It literally swallows up 10,000 balls a year.
I guess I'll go first, and then we can see how the expert does it.
Swing away.
I'm having enough trouble with this part.
Need some help?
I feel at least safe enough from this distance. I can't hit it into the pond on one shot.
No, it's the next shot, and the shot after that we're gonna have to worry about. Oh, look at this. We got some height
I can't see it.
here on the left side over here.
All right.
Even though I was off to a lucky start, my ego was flying high. I knew all that was about to go away once Gavin stepped up to the tee.
How about that for pressure? In between these two little trees here. Okay, so we're trying to lay up in front of this pond so then we can go back
Okay.
into the green.
Ooh.
It's all right. Sit down, ball. Not too far. Not too far.
Go, go.
All right, we'll see.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't think I'd hit it that far.
Me neither.
I got the feeling that Gavin was getting a little overconfident because we both thought, I put this one in the drink. Now, Gavin's second shot.
Hold it.
Gavin did indeed pull that ball. I'll tell you what, I couldn't be happier because now I can use all of his instruction against him and put this one right on the green.
See, maybe we try like an 8-iron.
This is the ping eyes too.
Oh my, look at this. Look at this ball.
I can't see it.
We're on the dance floor.
Yeah.
We're on the dance floor.
I hate to give another dude credit for some of my accomplishments, but you're right with everything that you said.
My confidence was soaring through the roof. I was only one putt away from parring this hole and putting the pressure on Gavin to do the same. I think it's working. Listen to the excuses.
I don't have a lot of green to work with. This is not the easiest shot in the world. Not a very good lie either. I feel like we're in the US Open over here.
It seems to me that Gavin was nervous. But what he should remember is that a good teacher always has his students surpass him. Like a true professional, he put it on the green. But then again, he's the golf pro. He's supposed to. Ladies and gentlemen, now for my par shot.
Oh, jeez, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble.
Might still be right.
I was so excited. I knew I should have went miniature golfing before it came.
There, that's gonna be better speed. Get in the hole.
And
How about that for the par?
Would be for 1 over.
All right.
Hey, we gotta be like the pros. Take our hat off.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
We're done right now.
After getting yelled at, we decided to hit the 19th hole and knock a couple of pines back to celebrate my new golf career.
Coming up next on Road Trip Masters, Brian and I saddle up for a little horseback excursion and explore enemy lines. Then later, I visit the homestead of a World War II 5-star general. Welcome back. When visiting Gettysburg, it's your American duty to tour the battlefield. Now restored to its original condition, visitors have many ways to see this historic site. Brian and I decided to experience it on horseback through Cornerstone Farm, and we wanted to get into the true spirit in order to do this right. Tell you what scares me, I never even been on a horse in 47 years of my existence.
Oh, there's a first for everything, Nick.
But you know what's missing?
Yeah, I think I do.
What are you thinking?
Well, 3, 2, 1.
Brian, this is perfect.
Now I feel ready to hit the battlefield.
I feel sweaty. I'm Union.
Confederate.
Charge!
Huzzah!
Then we proceeded to mount up on our horses and meet our federally licensed battlefield guide, Andy. The tour we were about to embark on will take us behind Confederate lines, exactly where Robert E. Lee rode during the battle.
Sending our scout forward, Wolfie, and let him take the first musket.
As we kept riding, you couldn't help but transport yourself back in time.
This is a tree that witnessed the Battle of Gettysburg. It's about 300 years old.
We stopped at several points of interest along the way, but we were excited to get to the granddaddy of all stops, the site of Pickett's Charge, where Andy gave us a little background on this historic general.
They say he had a pretty big ego. He brings his own paparazzi. He likes to look good.
Yeah.
Apparently he wears ladies' perfume. Smell good.
Most people view Pickett's Charge as one of General Lee's greatest military blunders, but this Behind the Confederate Lines tour paints an entirely different picture as to why the Confederate forces went ahead with the charge.
Scouts say there are only about 4,000 Union soldiers over there, and they're behind that ridge. We're going to use you guys to lead this attack, but you have 7,000 more men on your left that are going to support you. You're going to have 13,000 men. You're going to outnumber them 3 to 1. We're going to use 150 Confederate cannons to bombard that Union line. And then you're going to go across that ridge and come under enemy fire. You will be within 250 yards of the Union battle line then. If we do this right, you get beyond that army, Washington, D.C. is vulnerable. The war may be over. And if we go home, who are we going to remember? General Pickett.
Well, as history would have it, Pickett's charge failed due to an over-bombardment by Confederate forces. This caused a delay in the attack and allowed General Meade to reinforce the Union center and repel the attack. We had a blast out there on horseback, learning what it was like behind Confederate lines, and a team from Cornerstone Farm made it all possible for us. You know, I remembered this place in Gettysburg that does authentic wet plate photography called Victorian Photography Studio. Since we were dressed for the part, why not get it done?
Hi. How are you?
Great.
What do you think, Fulmer? What do we need, buddy?
I think we need a picture taken.
I think so, too.
Well, I can help you with that. Let's go upstairs and we'll do a wet plate.
Do we have to get naked for it?
Hey, what's a wet plate?
Well, let's go upstairs and I'll show you.
All right, lead the way, me lady.
All right.
Let's go.
It all starts with cutting the tin plate and then pouring the collodion, which is a combination of ether, alcohol, and cotton fibers. It is then immersed in a bath of silver nitrate where the cotton fibers absorb the chemical, making the plate light sensitive.
So we'll pose you. We're going to put headstands behind your heads.
What do you mean headstands?
The headstands will go behind your heads to help you from swaying back and forth, okay? I'm thinking having you sit.
It'd be like this.
Take it out for now. We'll position it then.
I certainly will take it out.
Have a seat.
I shall.
Michelle. Now that you're,
Sitting,
yes,
you take it out.
yes. And just use that like a little pillow.
So there I am, in position, and Brian decides to goof around to try and break my concentration and pose.
Don't you dare pass gas. Sometimes they call this headstand the third leg, just because in pictures, you'll see it behind the guy. And it looks like third leg behind him.
That freaking third leg's touching me.
Are you always red like your skin, or is that your sunburn?
It must be my sunburn.
Okay.
It's alcohol poisoning.
Now remember, you can blink and you can breathe. Now I have to go under here, try to stay still. 1, 2, and 3, do not move.
Tish told us not to move for 30 seconds. Any motion would ruin the shot, and the wet plate would have to be remade. Talk about pressure.
Almost done. You can relax.
But Brian and I came through like champions. Time to develop.
I will be out in 1 minute.
So we waited for her to come out.
Okay, here's the best part. So there you guys are in water.
Out comes the poison or cyanide to complete the development process.
So we're going to take you from the water and put you into the cyanide. So what kills you also brings you to life in a photograph. You're going to see it slowly starting to change. Okay, so I'm going to take it from the cyanide now and put it back into the water to stop all the chemicals.
Look, Brian's got a mustache.
So we're going to take this and varnish it.
This is the final touch. The varnish is made from lavender oil, alcohol, and tree gum sap, and is applied in order to preserve the photo for generations to come. Up next on RTM, I go down on the farm to reveal who this famous person is that lived in Gettysburg. Welcome back, people. Who is our famous person? Well, no other than Dwight D. Eisenhower, Allied Supreme Commander in World War II. And we needed to find out more what the tie-in is with former President Eisenhower and Gettysburg. First question, Dennis. Why does Ike come to Gettysburg?
There are several reasons why he decides to retire in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. The first reason is his grandparents had left this area in the 1870s to go out to Abilene, Kansas. The second reason is his love of military history, and he really becomes an expert on the Battle of Gettysburg. It's 189 acres.
Wow.
The house appears to be solid brick, about 2,000 square feet, built in the early 19th century. Price tag, $44,000.
Come on. Dennis and I continued to talk, but I needed to get inside where we started with the sunroom. Dennis, nice and cool in here, but why are we starting with this room?
This is the sunroom. This is where the Eisenhowers spent a lot of their time. Like a lot of Americans, spent a lot of time in front of the TV set. Ike loved his sports. He loved the Westerns. So there was very few things taken out of this house by the family.
Talk about a preservation in time, like a time capsule.
Exactly.
Hey, where are we headed to next inside this house?
From here, I'd like to show you the entrance hallway. There's a portrait of their son, John. This is John's West Point portrait. Most people don't know this, but John graduates from West Point on D-Day. Also, I want to point out there's a guest register here. You can see Pat Nixon and Dick Nixon. So that would be Vice President Nixon at the time.
Dennis and I continued our tour of the house. Did you know that the PGA installed a custom putting green for Eisenhower so he could practice his game? Ike also raised award-winning Black Angus cattle, which he showed often at county and state fairs. Just look how beautiful his barn is. Absolutely gorgeous. He even had a helicopter pad where world leaders and dignitaries came to visit. So where do we conclude this tour? Well, in Ike's office, of course.
Yeah, this is Ike's office. We know that he took the phone call about Gary Powers and the U-2 incident.
Right
in
here?
this office, yes.
Oh,
exactly.
wow. Now, I noticed on the floor that there's some damage on here.
Yeah, there's scratch marks throughout the floor. He was at that putting green and he got a call. Mr. President, you got a phone call. So he would come in here in his golf cleats, take the phone call, and put some scratches on the floor.
Dennis, thank you so much. Oftentimes, the focus of Gettysburg is the battlefield, and it should be. But don't forget about the Eisenhower farm. It all goes together. Check it out.
Well, that's it for now. Until next time, people, get out there and hit the open road, whether it be planned or unplanned. So until next time, rock on, people, and God bless America.